Should those who have been fully vaccinated then have greater freedoms from lockdown, from travel bans?
Look, I'm not going to pretend to be the medical expert, but there's a whole lot that I've heard different experts say with respect to herd immunity, that you need to get to a particular percentage of the population, given that people who've been vaccinated can still carry the virus. They're less likely to shed it at the same rate, but there's particular percentages you need to be able to get to be able to have those different sets of rules, and we are nowhere near those percentages. I think the Premier put it pretty plainly yesterday about the need for a sense of urgency. It's the Premier of New South Wales. And similarly, I think Jane Halton's comments this morning, where she's gone through issues where she briefed people about what needed to be done. And there's just been a complacent attitude from the government on this. I don't know why. Yeah, the words global pandemic should be a hint that there's a sense of urgency. How you are in the midst of a global pandemic, you get to the situation where the states did some really tough work last year that ended up resulting in no community transmission. And then for the government to have two jobs, vaccine rollout and purpose-built quarantine, to fail at both of those, I don't know how the Australian public can get past that.
Okay, there's a few things here. I just quickly want to get your read on two situations. Yeah. One is the PM backing in Gladys Berejiklian's strategy this morning. Do you back it in too?
This is a strategy with respect to
how she's handled this latest outbreak, not going into lockdown but putting firm restrictions in place.
Oh, I see. Sorry. Look, the Premier will deal with the health advice. Okay. And we'll do responses based on that, and that's exactly what should be happening. I'm not going to second guess that.
Okay, there's another case of a man by the name of Mark Killen who's been on this program. His father is dying of pancreatic cancer. He's going to be with him today, but it is a week too late. Should the Queensland Premier have recognised that this should have been done a week ago?
Oh, look, If I start with wherever people can show compassion without putting health at risk, they should do so. I actually had a conversation with the Prime Minister early on in the pandemic. We both lost our fathers just before the pandemic hit, and while neither of us felt lucky at the time, that was back in a world where family could be with people during their final weeks. There were no problems. As many people as wanted to be at a funeral could be there. And I think one of the toughest things that people have gone through over the last year and a bit has been not being able to have that complete freedom when people are dying or when you lose somebody. So I've got a huge amount of compassion here, and certainly hope that and trust that premiers around the country, they'll have to take account of health advice, but wherever compassion can be shown, it should be shown.
Okay, Tony Burke, thanks so much for your time this morning. When you leave Canberra, you'll be going into new restrictions, so I'm sure you're across those.
That's right. No. And we've just got to follow the advice. But a vaccine rollout will change what those restrictions are.
We will see. Tony Burke, thank you.
Thanks, Laura.